check to checking you out. Jess, we got it all. 60 from your head down. And she wanted all. Jesse, we got a chip. We got a chip, dude.
That's right. That is right. Branden Bollinger, it's been a pleasure doing this podcast with you over the past 4 or 5 months now, and we are ending our first year of Deferred Collusion with the Los Angeles Dodgers clinching their way to the fourth World Series in 7 seasons.
Something like that. 8 seasons. Jesse.
To play the New York Yankees.
Wow. Man, I am your co-host with my, as always, co-host. I'm Branden Bollinger, my partner in crime, none other than Mr. Jesse Rowe, the king of Crespi. Jess, I'm excited. You heard me saying we got a chip. That's right. The championship series in the NL has been decided. To the victor goes the spoils. On to the World Series. Dodgers, Yankees, the evil empire, the modern evil empire. Some people are calling the samurai Dodgers, Jess. I don't know if that's PC, but I do kind of dig it. Anyways,
let's see if we sign Sasaki in the offseason.
I think we're going to get it.
Then it's really going to happen, but that's for another day.
That's another day. But, what we do got today is the end of the line for a dear friend of ours, the New York Mets, the Cleveland Guardians a few days before that. Farewell to electric seasons. And I think, to be fair, I don't think we can say any team this season has had a more electric year than the New York Mets, who went from the LOL Mets to the oh my God Mets. I mean, right?
Well done.
Well done.
It's hard to. It's probably hard for Mets fans right now. I do have a buddy of mine who I was like texting with yesterday, and he was pretty upset. He was kind of on the most like negative possible outlook of things. I have it, just like, oh, we're not going to get Soto. He's going to stay with the Yankees, even though like when the Mets were winning in the playoffs, he was talking about just imagine what we're going to look like when we get Soto.
Wow.
He's completely all over the place, you know. So, and I know that feeling. I have been there. I know what this is like. I will say this: at least you just kind of got beat. You didn't like blow it. You just kind of got beat by a better team, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
And that just kind of shows that, the fact that you're able to get through 2 division winners like the Brewers and the Phillies, and make that comeback late in the season against teams like the Braves. Just an amazing run that nobody anticipated, nobody expected. This was supposed to be your transition year. And you made the NLCS. You got a lot to be proud of. And, the Dodgers are just really good, man. That offense is just clicking in every possible facet of the lineup right now. It's just you cannot prevent them from scoring runs. And that's what it came down to.
Jesse, the word juggernaut gets thrown around a lot, but this is the first time I have seen an LA team, the Dodgers. I'm not speaking about the Angels. You're from Anaheim. But this is the first time I feel like we've seen the Dodgers offense show up in a postseason in a long time. At least 2020, and before that, 2017. And before that, who knows? But it's been incredible. They've just been mashing the ball up and down the lineup. A couple days ago, we were talking, I think, after like game 2, just about how Tommy Edman is becoming my favorite Dodger. And lo and behold, he ends up having an insane rest of the series, 11 RBIs, hitting in the fucking 4-hole, laying down squeeze bunts, moving runners over, stealing bags, playing center field, playing shortstop, hitting fucking dingers, dude, having great at-bats. I mean, Jesse, this was a guy that hadn't played an inning when the Dodgers traded for him at the deadline. Yeah. And now he's the NLCS MVP. It's incredible. I mean, tip of the cap, but like, what a fucking stud. And you add that, and it's funny, he deserves his own like fucking segment, but like, you add that to the list of names: Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez, Gavin Lux, Will Smith, Kike Hernandez. I mean, and we're talking about Tommy Edman, dude. It's fucking incredible. This is why October's great. You really get to see whose heartbeat stays nice and chill under those bright lights, dude.
And the thing about Edman too is, I think going into that trade, especially when I was looking at lineup cards late in the season with Edman in it, once the Dodgers activated him and he actually was a part of the team, part of the everyday lineup, he was playing center field for us, and because we had Rojas at shortstop and batting like ninth in the order. He was batting cleanup in this series for the Dodgers. With guys like when Freddie Freeman was out, he was batting cleanup. And
yeah, man.
You have when you really just like think about that, it just shows what a diverse and balanced, just how many options the Dodgers have, how much versatility they have, but also the fact that Tommy Edman is just a plug and play, the ultimate utility plug and play player, and to be put in the cleanup spot when Teoscar Hernandez was kind of struggling, when Freddie Freeman's clearly
Teo didn't have any hits until Game 6 in the series. You know, if you would have told me that Freddie would have sat 2 games, Teo would have been hitless until Game 6, and we would have had to use like 2.5 bullpen games, and we would have won the series, I would have been like, "Fuck, are you sure, dude? Is this a goof?" You know?
And I was talking to my buddy about this, about how the Dodgers were going to have to do it. It was going to have to be something like this where somebody was going to have to step up simply because, like, oh, they're not going to let Shohei, Mookie, Freddie beat you. One of those guys is eventually going to get to you, but, you know. But the thing is like, everybody was hitting. It's just Tommy Edman hit the best out of everybody, which is an incredible thought. And it might be the best trade deadline acquisition of the year, to be honest. I mean, when you think about it, what the it's factoring in everything, all factors in play. What the Dodgers gave up to get him, to get Flaherty, obviously who got shelled in his second start of this series, but who had 7 scoreless in the first start of the series. I mean, my God. These are absolute home runs of the highest order.
I think Kopech has given up 1 run the entire playoffs. You know,
and that was yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it's been incredible.
Which, by the way, should not have been a run. It was like he walked Lindor and then threw a wild pitch, and then Alonso should have probably grounded out, but Chris Taylor just couldn't make the play, or Gavin Lux couldn't make the stretch, which Freddie probably would have caught. Just a weird run. But either way, that's not the point. The point is, Tommy Edman's fucking amazing. He's a player that every single team needs to have.
100%, dude.
Like, if you're going to win a championship. But to your point about the Dodgers, you said how this Dodger team is, like... Did you just disconnect? Okay, I don't know what just happened.
No, sir.
That they're one of, like, the best... That they're one of, like, the best offenses, that this is the best Dodgers offense we've seen in, like, this run of, like, the past, whatever it is, 10 years of the Dodgers making the playoffs. That's not true, Branden. It's literally the best offense of any playoff team of the past whatever amount of years, because they literally just broke a record. They scored the most runs in a playoff series ever.
Whoa.
What was it, 46? They scored 46 runs?
Yep.
Passing the 96 Braves.
It's insane. So, that was that TBS era Braves, dude. I remember watching a lot of Turner Broadcasting games of the mighty Braves. Dude, it was amazing. Speaking of just, guys, unexpected guys, Brett Honeywell. I guess what Kenny Powers would look like if he was a team player. Max Muncy giving him a lot of love in the clubhouse after the Game 6 win, saying that he credits Brett Honeywell with getting Mookie Betts right. Said that he was throwing to Mookie and Shohei and Freddie, and he told him that he was going to throw it right down the pipe and just hit it as fucking hard as you can, as far as you can. Mookie hits a couple
Yeah.
dingers and kind of is shifting the narrative that was around him, right? Just a few weeks ago, Mookie can't hit in the playoffs. Now he's hitting almost 300 with a couple of jacks, ton of RBIs. I mean, he's looking great out there.
Not just that, but also Muncy also gave him credit for going 4 2/3 in Game 5 at Shea Stadium in New York. Or sorry, at Citi Field. I apologize.
All good.
And it's still Shea. It's always going to be Shea Stadium in my eyes, man.
Still Shea to me, damn it.
Yeah.
Still Shea to me.
4 2/3, where he gave up 4 runs, but this was a point of contention for some Dodger fans on Twitter because it kind of felt like Dave Roberts was sort of conceding the game a little bit early on by letting Flaherty just kind of wear it those first few innings. Flaherty clearly did not have it.
Yeah.
Like, he was getting fucking shelled.
We were losing
game.
our minds. We were.
And I was like, just go
Fucking
to Honeywell. I don't care. Like, even if I literally said, I was like, even if it's Honeywell, just go to him now when it was like 4 runs off of Flaherty. It's like, what's the worst that could happen? Worse than this? Like, this is already pretty bad. And you're like, at least you're just changing the arm angle, changing the stuff. And like, the Dodgers offense is good enough to get back in this game. It just kind of felt like we were throwing the game away intentionally. But Doc stuck with Flaherty, I think, a little bit too long. We're going to defend Doc later in this episode, don't worry. But I just felt like they could have gone to Honeywell earlier. But the point Muncy was trying to make was, you pitched 4 2/3 of an inning, 4 2/3 for us, and it won us Game 6 because we didn't have to use anybody else. And it was also setting the tone for the rest of the team. Like, look, that he was basically falling on the sword for the team. He was like a true team player. I'm going to exhaust all my bullets in this series so that you guys can win Game 6 for the team. And it's like, that's a fucking team player right there, dude.
That's the power of friendship Dodgers, dude. This low market team going against the big bag Yanks, dude. They're gonna need all that friendship, dude. Yeah, man.
And the bullpen's pretty well rested for this series, dude. All things considered, where we're at, like, thank God for all these blowouts, because we have not had to, for that bullpen game, like, yeah, we used all of our pitchers, but pretty well rested.
Yeah,
for,
man.
Like, multiple bullpen, like 3 bullpen games now.
Yeah, man. I heard the typical chorus of Dave Roberts haters come out after Game 2. And was it Game 4 or Game 5, those losses?
Game 2 and 5, yeah.
And a lot of it was about not pulling Flaherty, or why is fucking Brazier starting? Who's Landon Knack? Why the fuck? He sucks. Why is he in there? And what I got to give it to Doc is I think maybe a couple years ago he does pull the hook a little quicker and maybe throws a high leverage guy in. And now those are a couple outs that you don't have anymore. You know, he's fired those bullets. And I think Doc kind of knew, like, hey, man, for us to pull this off, we're going to need to really stay within the rails, and we can't get spooked, basically. It's a Halloween reference. I got my spooky Goosebumps shirt on.
Oh,
don't
wow.
be
Is
spooked out.
Halloween?
Yeah, dude, don't get spooky. But yeah, I don't know. All in all, I think Doc has pretty much called a perfect postseason so far. I know that's controversial in itself, but yeah,
I don't
man.
think any
when
manager
you're
calls a perfect postseason, but I'll go ahead.
you get my point. I'm not saying he's been
Yeah.
perfect, but I'm just saying, sometimes when you're in a tough situation, the better choice isn't always obvious, And I think it was kind of, hey, we're eating it now, but we're not going to blow those outs because I'm not thinking about them for tonight. I'm thinking about them for tomorrow. And that's another night that, one of our high leverage matchups aren't going to be exposed to another mix and match from the Mets, which they do so well, and have beaten other teams' bullpens by mixing and matching their their bench pieces. But to our credit and to that bullpen's credit, boy, they were stingy. When giving up hits, they kept him in the yard for the most part, except like Vientos. Fuck, he just seems like he was always stingy.
Vientos is awesome. I really like that guy. I want to do a little post-mortem on the Mets just to tell Mets fans what they have to be hopeful for. But I don't want to go back to your point about the bullpen, though, and the depth. Because, like, they didn't pitch amazing in Game 6. They really didn't. Like, they gave up a lot of traffic. A lot of the credit goes to the Mets for having really good at-bats, but also Dodger pitchers were having some trouble throwing strikes in this game. They were. Like, Kopech he started the game as the opener. He was just clearly juiced up.
Dude, right? He was sailing stuff. It just looked like everything was coming out 102, you know?
Yeah, but I think that he actually still looked great. And I think that was like 2 days off or 3 days off, whatever it was, really paid dividends for him. That Alonso run probably shouldn't have scored. So maybe they gave up like 4 runs, you know, if they just pitched that inning well. Anyways, that being said, what Doc did so well, and this is a conversation I've had with a buddy of mine. I talk to him every day. We were talking about this yesterday. He didn't let the Mets, like, the same guys face the same guys more than once. It was basically like Lindor never saw the same pitcher twice. Alonso never saw the same pitcher twice. That's why he was making decisions the way that he was. And it kind of dawned on me, oh, that's what they're doing. Because I hadn't noticed it before. Because normally you just think, like, why wouldn't you go to your best reliever here? Or why wouldn't you go to, you know, like Banda here with McNeil coming up? It's because McNeil just saw Banda. I don't even know if they faced each other. I'm just thinking, like, that's the theory behind it.
Totally, yeah. You had, like, a trees for the forest kind of moment. Like, oh, fuck, I see the bigger picture here. He has basically, hey, I have these amount of pitchers, and I want to use them to get these specific outs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not
That's
so
why
much
Kopech
about
was an opener in one game, and then Brazier was an opener in another. It just was, hey, we're going to, and then we're going to put Knack in the second inning. I think they probably had plans of using Knack later in the series for Game 6.
Yeah.
Didn't work out that way. That's what I think that they were thinking.
But shout out Ben Kasparius for stepping up and being that big Connecticut dog that he is.
Dude, my new favorite bullpen arm is Ben Kasparius.
Wow, man! Awesome. It's crazy that they're going to the World Series with a couple of guys that were in Double-A in the pen right now.
He's had 6 professional games before pitching in that game.
Yeah, and what is it, Enriquez Hernandez? I don't know, the one kid.
Yeah, he didn't pitch in this game.
But I'm just saying, another guy who started in like Double-A this season and is now got to be pitching to the World Series potentially. It's fucking insane. I love October for this stuff, dude.
It goes to the Dodgers player development and how good they are at, like, developing arms, but also just understanding matchups and understanding. I think Dave Roberts, he's had, like, what is it, 8 Octobers now, or 7 Octobers now to sort of figure out how to use a bullpen. And it's like, this is how I feel about it. I kind of feel like this is the best coach Dave Roberts can be. What he's doing right now. This is the best manager he can be.
Yeah.
He's not perfect. He's not going to always make the right decision, but he's going to make it more often than not, and he's going to make it in the most important moments. And by moments, I don't just mean like a specific moment. I'm talking about like a specific scenario, a specific game, a specific timeline. It's all calculated by the front office, but it's being applied by Dave Roberts, and I think he deserves credit because I think he was awesome. He's been awesome in these playoffs.
I think we've seen him in the past maybe be a little emotional in his decision making. Like something that pops right up to my head is the 2019 leaving Kershaw in after he got you that out from coming in for the bullpen. He started that inning off against Soto and Rendon and gave up back-to-back jacks. I felt that was a little bit of Doc just going like, oh, I'm going to give him his Bumgarner moment instead of just like, oh, this is the best path for the game. You know, that's just a little nitpick, neither here nor there. But
no, that shit still scars me.
Oh, dude, there's plenty to be scarred about. But it's been a pretty beautiful playoff run so far. And,
thank God the games have been blowouts in that series because I think that the bullpen – part of it is like the offense was doing him a lot of favors. He didn't have to make a lot of really tough decisions with the bullpen. He just made his game plan was perfect. It just wasn't like he wasn't forced into like, oh shit, it's a 1-run game in the 8th inning and they just got runners on first and third, 1 out. Who do I go to here?
Yeah.
He never had that scenario.
But the correct answer would be Blake Trinan.
Right, he's Branden. He's the best fucking reliever in baseball right now. I know he gave up. I know he gave up a run in that ninth inning, but like he was also just throwing strikes to get with a 6-run lead.
Yeah, he was looking absolutely fucking insane. Thank you, baseball gods. Thank you, Jesus, as Blake would probably say. But I mean, did you see the emotion after he got that last out? I mean, he looked like he was in tears. I mean, it's not been an easy journey for Blake Trinan, dude. It has not at all.
No, he was ready to. He looks about as fucking like relieved as like he basically looked that look in his eye was like the same as like when I saw him at the Capitol on January 6th. It was like that kind of look in his eye. You know what I mean? He was like he was as motivated as ever before, Branden. No, I'm joking, but I agree. He looked very relieved. Like I was worried he wasn't going to pitch this year, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah. It's been a while, right? A lot of injuries with him. Dude, speaking of just playing, I just want to flip back to the Mets real quick. What do you think is next for Pete Alonso? Do we see him stay with the Mets, or do you think he's long for another coast, perhaps?
That's an ugly image of him in that Blake Trinan at bat, reminiscent of Trey Turner and Manny Machado in their short stints as Dodger shortstops when they had strikeouts in their final at bats for the Dodgers.
Yeah,
just bad at bats.
Yeah, not good.
Just getting struck out on 3 pitches, I believe. Alonso, maybe it was 4 pitches. Trinan made him look silly in that final at bat. I don't know if that's the image that he wants. But he had his Mets moment this year. Like, Mets fans are going to love him forever for that 3-run homer he hit against Milwaukee. It's going to be etched in Mets fans' minds forever, just because it was like, it was so legendary. It was so iconic. Even if you don't win the World Series,
dude, I jumped up. I didn't have a
Yeah.
dog in that fight, and I was watching that game, and I jumped out of my seat. It was fucking cinema, dude. It was incredible.
I'll say this, and because he didn't have a great year. It's already, by his standards, I should say. But he didn't have an amazing year by his standards. I think the Mets probably have like the most money to offer him out of any team. Like they're going to be competitive probably to keep him, because who's going to play first base next year? I don't know. Obviously they want to sign Juan Soto, so it really depends on how much money, how far over the salary cap or not salary cap, but sorry, how far over luxury tax implications they want to go. I have a feeling Alonso comes back, if I'm being honest, just because I don't know if he's like super desirable, but from a lot of teams that he's going to want to play for. Like, what team would he sign with right now? Like, what option do you see for Pete Alonso?
The Cleveland Guardians.
Maybe Seattle Mariners.
Seattle Mariners.
That's an option, because like Ty France got DFA'd. See, that's scary. Who do they got at first base right now?
Was it fucking Jose Abreu to start the
They
year?
DFA'd him. They released him.
That's my point.
Calm
I
down.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, my guess is Alonso will stay, and maybe this like postseason run, the Mets transition year, making the NLCS, it might be one of those scenarios where they want to bring him back.
Yeah, I think he comes back. I just think he means the most there, but it might be on like a little family-friendly deal.
Has to be. Yeah.
But we'll see. I think he just means too much to the city. Shouts out to Lindor. I know he was getting shouts out from
Keep talking.
from Jack White, all kinds of people, but he really, really endeared himself to the city of New York this year. And I don't know. I just feel like we touched on it a little bit. He was getting some hate and stuff for not being the immediate perennial like MVP that they thought they were getting, I guess. But yeah, no, he's really turned into the star of the show in New York and a bona fide stud or star. On like a national market, dude. When he was coming out, I got sunshine, and the whole stadium was singing, dude. Like, that's so fucking cool. Like, it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's hard not to be romantic about baseball, and Frank Lindor won all our hearts. And yeah, I'm excited for Mets country, dude. Let's see what you do in the off season. I know there's some money to be spent, but Jesse, that is for 2025, my guy, we got a World Series to talk about. The Dodgers, the Yankees, the first time since 83. I wasn't alive yet.
81.
Oh, 81. That's still wasn't alive.
Yeah.
Checks out. The two worst fan bases in sports, if you ask anyone from San Diego, San Francisco, Philly, Boston, just about anywhere you may go in this country. Yankees, Dodgers, not popular with other teams, but boy, are they popular around here, Jess, in my home. I really love me some Dodgers. Yankees, not so much.
Look, if you're a baseball fan, and I understand hating the Dodgers, I understand hating the Yankees. I get it. I'm not a Yankee fan. I root for them to lose every time they're in the World Series or in the playoffs and the Dodgers are eliminated, or even if it's against the Dodgers. Even if the Dodgers are still in, I'm always rooting for the Yankees to lose. Full disclosure. But if I'm a neutral, objective baseball fan and my team gets eliminated, I want the best possible matchup or the best possible story, right?
Oh, yeah.
The Mets might have been the best possible story of this postseason.
Yeah.
Mets got eliminated. You got the best possible matchup. You got the best team in the NL versus the best team in the AL. You got the two big juggernaut payrolls. You've got not only that, the two best players in baseball. You've got Aaron Judge versus Shohei Ohtani, two of the most marketable players in baseball, top jersey sellers in baseball. You've got Garrett Cole, who was just signed, who signed the biggest contract for a pitcher of all time before Yoshinobu Yamamoto did, against Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who was rumored to be signing with the Yankees. You've got so many different storylines. You've got so many different things to look forward to. This is a World Series that we might never see again. This is so rare in baseball. In professional sports, it's rare that you get this type of a matchup where the best players on the best teams are going up against each other in the biggest markets.
Jesse, I haven't been this excited since Godzilla vs. King Kong came out, because that is what we're getting, dude. We're getting Godzilla vs. King Kong.
There it is. You found it.
That's
you
right,
found
dude.
the comp.
There it is, dude. Yeah. That's our comp. It's our comp. It's the Kaiju Bowl, dude. The All-American King Kong Judge.
Samurai Dodgers, Kaiju Bowl. This is getting out of hand, dude.
Dude, it's not my fault. I live in an ethnically diverse part of Los Angeles County. I got a lot of
Shohei fans?
Yes, that's the way to say it.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's fucking exciting, dude. I love that that storyline you were talking about. You know, the Yankees only offering $300 million to Yamamoto because they go, hey, that's what we gave our guy Cole. You know, that's the best pitcher on the planet. How can we offer you more than that? No disrespect. The city of brotherly love offered Yamamoto $350 million, and Uncle Stevie Cohen offered $325 million. Obviously, he settled with the Dodgers, but it's going to look like a fucking steal if he goes out and shoves and the Dodgers win the World Series. But if he goes out and gets shelled, you're going to have everybody in the fucking Bronx calling fucking Yamamoto a bum. You know what I mean? The whole damn country. So that's a lot of fun. Somehow in this series, you know, we're all looking at Ohtani and Judge, these 50-plus home run monsters. A couple of one daughters out there, our OPS fans out there, but the understudies of the play. Soto, Mookie Betts.
Oh, yeah.
Mookie,
those bums.
Those fucking bums. Mookie on an MVP trajectory this year before he breaks his hand.
Yeah.
Soto playing out of his mind, dude. The kid's got fucking 600 million reasons to swing. Jazz Chisholm just saying that he's worth 700 million. I disagree. But Jesse, I do want to ask you, with that dramatic 3-run home run in the 10th inning to clinch the ALCS for the Yankees, has Juan Soto already done enough to secure 600 million fucking smackers?
Look, I'll say this. if Shohei Ohtani's worth 700 million, then Juan Soto probably isn't worth 6. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't offer him 6. If that's what the market dictates for you to keep Juan Soto, then you fucking have to do it. Like, you have no choice. You have to sign Juan Soto. But is Juan Soto better than Aaron Judge, who at this moment, what's Aaron Judge's contract? Hold on, Aaron Judge contract.
360, I think.
360. So there you go. So is Juan Soto worth more than Aaron Judge, who just hit 58 home runs, who hit the most home runs in American League's history? I don't know. I don't think he is. The problem is the market is going to dictate it because Stevie Cohen and the Mets are going to match or do more than the Yankees will every day of the week, because the Mets, I'm serious, the Mets need Juan Soto just as much as the Yankees do.
Wow.
If the Yankees win this series, two things can happen. Juan Soto might get that taste and be like, all right, well, I'm never leaving. Or the Yankees might be like, well, we got what we needed from this 1-year rental. You know what I mean? So a lot is riding on the line with this series here. To answer your question, like, yes, he's worth $600 million if that's what the Mets are offering, or any other team that's trying to beat out the Yankees in negotiation. It's going to be Mets or Yankees, dude. Just mark.
Well, let me ask you this, Jess, just to concisely put a bow on it. In one word, has he done enough to secure $600 million without the World Series? Yes or no? And if he wins, if he clinches the World Series for the Yankees, then do you think he did enough?
If they win the World Series, yeah, he's worth
nice.
it.
I love
if
it.
not, no, because Shohei Ohtani is double the player because he pitches.
Hell yeah.
So I just can't go there. Like, it's like the same reason where, like, the Yankees can't offer Yamamoto X amount of dollars because he's not worth more than Garrett Cole.
I vibe that.
I can't go up to $600 million for Soto if Ohtani's worth 7.
And you know what I will say about the Yankees not feeling comfortable to give that much money to Yamamoto? I don't like to your point, if the market says he's worth $325, then that's what he's worth. But I at least respect the Yankees for having some principle and going like, look, this is our guy. We'll offer you what we think he's worth, but this is it, you know? Not that they need the money, but I just kind of like it, what it says about believing in your captain, pitcher, or whatever you want to call him. I know Judge is the captain.
I get that.
You get what I'm saying.
If I'm Garrett Cole, though, and I actually, care about what they pay Yamamoto, when,
Well, I think he does. I think Garrett Cole does care. And that's not a shot at Cole.
He might be a little sensitive.
But, dude, think about it. Think about where he came up, dude. He was fucking on that UCLA pitching staff with Bauer. They notoriously butted heads all, through the pros and shit. But, yeah, dude, I mean, I'm not knocking Cole at all. But I think he's got a little bit of that, ace, diva kind of swag to him. You know what I mean?
Good. Then maybe it'll motivate him to have a better season. If you put Yamamoto on the team for more money, you know what I mean? And also, I think Cole had something in his contract about how he could opt out and ask for more money or something. So that could be a part of it. There's something in there. I forget what it was. There's some weird stipulation in his contract. Anyways, we're kind of going off the rails here.
Let me get us back onto these rails. Just because you're speaking of contracts, and I think it's super interesting. We're talking about Soto. We're talking about Mookie. If our friends will remember, Mookie Betts came over to the Dodgers on a trade, and it was a 1-year contract. He was
very similar scenario.
He was looking to test free agent. Was adamant about it. That's why the Red Sox let him go. Who's the best 1-year contract of all time, dude? I mean, Soto's really looking like it. But Mookie, another great one to re-sign. Obviously, he signed an extension. But, hey, if Soto re-signs with the Yankees, it's basically an extension, right?
Yeah, I guess I would say it just depends on how the series plays out for the Yankees. If the Yankees win, it's a wash. I mean, it's Mookie until it's not, because Mookie got the World Series in 2020. And the Dodgers got the extension, so it was a big gamble, but you okay?
Dude, my allergies are ripping me apart right now. It's incredible.
Okay.
I don't want you to think I'm doing any Colombian
No.
bam bam over here, dude.
Hey, man, if there's one thing I know about you,
I ain't celebrating
it's,
like that, dude.
yeah. What I was Michaela is my wife is going through the same shit. She's dealing with like really bad allergies right now. I think it's seasonal. Like the seasons are changing or something.
It's brutal, dude. Pollen in these streets, dude.
Yeah, Mookie's the answer only because the Dodgers won the World Series and they extended him, so that gamble paid off. Also, if you look at what the Dodgers gave up, like fucking Jeter Downs, like what's going on with him? Connor Wong's been like had a decent year.
Verdugo,
like
in the World
Verdugo's
Series.
on the Yankees now,
He's still in the World Series. That means something.
but he's on the Yankees now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of. I think the Dodgers won that one. And I like Verdugo a lot. I'm just being honest though. But for Soto, it's like the Padres. You know, they kind of got some decent players in return, and let's see. I mean, the Yankees got to the World Series, and he hit the homer that got them there. It's like it's so close. It's 1A and 1B. Take your pick. The Yankees got to win for this to be a real argument, and they got to re-sign him. You know what I mean? It's Mookie until it's not. Is kind of like the point I would make.
I'm not gonna fight you on that, dude.
Yeah.
There is another little battle brewing, another storyline, if you will. Probably the two most. What was the word you used, dude? Just fucking picked apart managers in the league. Scrutinized. The two most scrutinized managers in all of baseball, Dave Roberts and Aaron Boone. Just off the top, dude, who's got more to lose in this series? Dave
This is my
or
favorite.
Booney?
Yeah, this is my favorite this whole note list that you put together. It's such an interesting question because their careers are sort of like mirroring each other a little bit because they are not only are they both coaching the two like teams like the biggest payrolls and the biggest markets, the two most historic franchises in baseball, but they're also like guys that were like role players in their careers that have incredible playoff moments. Like Dave Roberts has the steal to send the to win Game 4 with the Red Sox down 3-0 against the Yankees. Boone the year before has the home run to win Game 7 against the Red Sox.
Fucking crazy.
So like both of these guys have incredible postseason moments, you know, and they're also two of the most overly scrutinized managers in baseball. And I would argue that both of them, while there's always a place to pick apart a manager and what they do. That's just baseball. That's just the game. It's a hard fucking game, man. Like, I argue that a lot of these great managers sometimes just get lucky that their decisions work out. You know what I mean? Like, it's a hard game. And I think they're both unfairly scrutinized. But I think Doc has more to lose here. You know what? I don't know. Because the injuries the Dodgers had to go through. No, you know what? It's Boone. Here's why. Boone's got Cole. He's healthy. He's got Rodon. Boone, they've got the starting pitching advantage. They have 4 starting pitchers they can throw out there. The Dodgers have 3. And they don't have two of their best. You know, so they don't have their ace. Yamamoto's on a short leash. Like, all of it favors the Yankees on the starting pitching side of things. Dodgers bullpen, Yankees bullpen, pretty close. They're both very good. Dodgers might be favored, just the way they've pitched in the playoffs. They might be a little better right now. Dodgers offense is obviously, you know, it's better than anybody ever right now, the way they're playing. I think it's probably Boone because you have Cole healthy. They thought they weren't going to have him this year. Dodgers don't have Glass now. Like, you gotta manage those games very carefully. So if he lets Cole go too long, the Dodgers get to him like second or third time through the order. New York is a tough market, man. We might see some chirping going on.
You're right.
And
no,
they've been
I
calling
think
for his head for a long time. I think this is Roberts' finest hour to even get to the World Series without Glasnow, without River Ryan, Gavin Stone, Clayton Kershaw, with a bad Walker Buehler, with an injured Yamamoto.
Bobby Miller
these
sucks. Fucking,
No Bobby Miller. Yeah.
Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin. I mean, the list goes on, baby.
I think Doc is guaranteed another year.
I agree.
Boone,
I agree, and I do think that the pressure is actually higher on Booney because Soto's not agreed to an extension. So you might only have him this year. You know what I mean? And who knows what the next season? I mean, they didn't make the playoffs the year before, and to the Dodgers' point, they got their brains beaten in by the fucking Diamondbacks last postseason. So I think if you would have told Yankees fans, Dodgers fans, like, hey, hold tight, in this offseason they're going to make some dramatic moves and, you'll get to the World Series, I think last season everybody would go, okay. But nah, man, people were fucking pissed. People were pissed at Aaron Boone. People were fed up with fucking Dave. I mean, it feels like every postseason nobody ever blames the fucking offense for not showing up. But they always blame Dave and the pitching. So, yeah, I do think these are two guys that are maybe unfairly scrutinized, but a little bit. But like we've said, dude, pressure's the highest where the lights shine the brightest. And, that's in these big markets and, at no more stressful time than in October. So
yeah, well, let me say something about that. Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
If I were to be a betting man, I would say both of these guys still have their jobs next year, only because Boone would have been fired if they didn't make the World Series this year. And I say that because of the landscape the Yankees had. I'm not going to call it the easiest path to a World Series ever, but like the Astros, the Tigers did you a huge favor by getting rid of the Astros, which has been the boogeyman for the Yankees and their ability to make the World Series in the Aaron Judge era, right? So with that being said, you had the Royals and you got the Guardians. It's not their fault. That's the draw they got. They took advantage of it, and they did it in they have a record of 7-2, in those 9 games. So like they did their job. Those Cleveland games got awfully dicey. They were pretty scary. That was one of the best 5-game series you could ask for.
Yeah.
In a best of 7. You know what I mean? Like those 3 games in Cleveland were fucking awesome. Great games.
Shouts out Big Christmas.
Yankees, yeah, that was awesome. Shout out to Guardians, too, just for
I know we haven't even really talked about the Guardians. Yeah. It's been a couple days, but, I mean, what a fucking season. I think they're incredible. You heard it here first. Real quick, Jesse, I just wanted to throw this to all our Cleveland fans out there. You heard it here first. JD Martinez is going to be your DH next year, so enjoy that. 28 home runs for the Guardians next season.
Yeah. 28 home runs, 200 strikeouts. Enjoy it.
It's going to be sick.
Yeah, it's going to be dope. I like JD a lot. He was actually great for the Dodgers. Just like nobody expected Doc to win a World Series last year with Lance Lynn starting Game 3, and once Kershaw got shelled, it was like there's no way Dave Roberts can do anything to win this series right now. Because we knew our pitching was so bad. The pressure was equally on. It was like in reverse. It was on Boone to win those games. So he won those games. He took care of business, got them to a World Series. He's going to be back next year. Like that was because what's going to happen is if they lose to the Dodgers, yes, there are going to be Yankee fans that are like going to shit on his decisions. Of course, that's going to happen. But at the same time, I think that they're smart enough to know it's just because the Dodgers probably just a better team.
Yeah,
and that's the reason why.
Yeah,
if the Dodgers lose, though, it really depends on the decisions Doc makes. Because if they are blowing the Yankees out and then we get our fucking best guys up there and Doc doesn't make the right decisions with them, that's a different story. I think it's a fine line. I would still say the pressure's on Boone, but it's splitting hairs,
Oh yeah, so I vibe that.
That's all I got.
Jess, dude, we got the 2 best teams in baseball, the 2 1 seeds. We got the 2 unanimous favorites for the AL and NL MVPs. Such a deep cast of stars. We've talked about from the managers to the role players to everything in between. Is this just finally proof that baseball is thriving in a way we haven't seen in maybe 30 years, 40 years or so, dude?
Here's what I'll say. I don't think we're ever gonna see the ratings that baseball once did. Like Yankees, Red Sox, and things like that. Like in the the early 2000s. Like I don't think we'll ever see that again. No, sorry. We might see ratings like that. Like we might get close to that. But like baseball in like the 90s and before like NBA became like before the Michael Jordan era of the NBA and when the NFL really became America's sport. It's going to be tough for baseball to ever get back to those numbers, right? But in terms of like what we're about to see, this is the most international the game has ever been. It's only been like 25 years of us, 30 years of Major League Baseball signing like international prospects and coming over to the league. It's only a small sample size, all things considered. We're finally starting to see like generational results and all of that stuff where like people who were kids when like the Dodgers signed Hideo Nomo or like they're now adults. You know what I mean? So it's like we're just kind of entering that phase of us like really truly realizing baseball is like the most international sport in the world. Out of all of them, it's probably other than like maybe soccer. Like baseball is the most international sport. It's more international than NBA and football.
I dig it. I'm right there with you, brother.
I think that.
What do you say to people who are saying that? I ain't watching this, dude. Oh, you cut out there.
Sorry, hold on. Just let me tell you, with what's about to happen with Shohei, and because the Japanese ratings have been insane. They have. I saw a number that like Game 5 with Darvish pitching for the Padres against Shohei, that it was like 8 million viewers in the U.S. versus like 14 million in Japan or something like that, like almost double. We're about to see some crazy shit with the Japanese, with Shohei in the World Series and the Japanese fan base following along. This is probably the best we're ever going to see. Like this era right now, over like the next like 20 years, this is probably going to be the highest rated World Series. That's my prediction.
You heard that prediction there, baby. Highest rated World Series of the next 20 years, 2024, Dodgers, Yanks. Jess, I got one last question for you, Papas. Give me your prediction for that World Series. Who you taking?
Okay. I don't know if you can tell by my shirt here.
Does it say Miami?
Yes, Shohei Miami.
Oh.
It's a new soccer team. Cristiano Ronaldo is supposed to sign there.
Love those guys.
I do like. Well, I feel like I'm a college athlete who's about to pick his what college he's or the high school athlete.
You're gonna commit to?
About announces what college he's committing to. I don't know where. Hold on, I got it.
There's no way this isn't gonna be a letdown.
This is very stupid because I don't think anybody watching this podcast would think that I'm going to pick any other team, but whatever. These are the two hats I got. This is the Yankees, and this is the Dodgers.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm going to go with Dodgers
Whoa.
in 6 games.
Whoa, Dodgers
I'm tempted.
6.
I'm tempted to take them in 5 games, but because the bullpen game factor, because the Yankees are very good, I think that we're going to see the Dodgers like have a blowout in 1 game. It's not going to be like a Mets game, but I think it's going to be 1-1 after 2, just like the Mets series. But I think that Dodgers are going to steal like a really, really controversial, great game in the Bronx. And it's going to be fucking epic. And then the Dodgers are going to win at home in 6 games.
Interesting, dude. Yeah. See, I have a slightly different take on it. Obviously, going Dodgers. I don't know if anybody was going to guess that I was going to go Dodgers too. Oh, you guys were? Oh, that's crazy. I think that game 1 is going to be super, super important. We were talking about Yankees got a starting pitching edge. I think the Dodgers have a bullpen edge. Important. So I think that if the Dodgers come out and win game 1, I'm saying Dodgers in 6. I think if the Dodgers lose game 1, Dodgers in 7.
Here's my take.
Big difference. I know, dude. Wrap your mind around it, dude. It's analytics in here, dude. All the time. Running numbers, grinding gears, crunching papers, dude.
Here's my take on it. I would only be surprised by a couple of things in the series. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees won in like 6 or 7 games. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers won in 6 or 7 games. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers swept the Yankees or won it in 5 games pretty easily too. Like one, like where the Yankees are scoring 6 runs, but the Dodgers are scoring 10. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
Yeah,
there's only one scenario I would be surprised by, and that's the Yankees beating the Dodgers easily. That's the only scenario that I don't see happening in this series.
Well, you heard it here.
I think it's going to be pretty much what we saw in the Padres series. I think it's going to be very, very similar to that. Where like the Yankees could go up 2-1. It's like 1-1 after 2, and then they take the first game in the Bronx. I think they're going to get to Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen. I think they're going to get to Garrett Cole. I think they're going to get to Rodon. And I think Dodgers in 6 is the best choice out of all of them. So, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm hoping happens, and you heard it here first, everybody. So if you're,
I'm ready to get my heart broken, Branden. I really am. I'm ready to get fucking.
Dude.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
I got nothing but hopes and dreams for this next week. It's going to be great. I'm just going to be reveling in my season not being over just yet. But Jesse, we did it, baby. That's another ep, dude. Deferred Collusion, baby.
You took over hosting duties this week, Branden. How did it feel? That was like that was weird for me. I felt like I was like I felt like I was your color commentator for half.
It felt like it. It felt like you were. Without the color, mostly. But
I did get some on my golf trip. I don't know if you got a little sunburn.
Yeah, dude. You got a gorgeous pink to you, dude. Like a medium rare.
Drinking some White Claws. my blood's a little,
Yeah, no, Jess, I was I knew you were out of town a little bit, so I had no problem spearheading this one.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, man, it's a fucking fun time to be a baseball fan.
Before
I
have one question for you, Branden.
What's up, dude?
Before we end this episode, who's your World Series MVP?
Oh, dude, that's fucking too easy, brother. Walker Buehler, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. He's gonna get 2 wins. Watch, dude.
Okay.
Wild.
I love it. I obviously love it because like that. If that's how Walker Buehler's Dodger career ends, if we don't re-sign him,
2 7-inning fucking outings, dude. Allowing no more than 2 earned runs, dude.
Okay, well, you might be crazy, but I love it. It's, I haven't decided yet.
All right, well, then that's my dark horse. But my actual MVP pick, I'm running it back, dude. Tommy Edman, dude.
Wow. I mean, what a historic postseason this would be. You know the best part about Tommy Edman, by the way? Dodgers have him next year, too.
Whoa! I thought it was a 1-year deal.
Yeah,
That's a lot of fun.
I think it's a controlled... I might be wrong about that. If I'm wrong about that, I apologize. I think they have him next year. But, Branden, if you think that this season and the way that it has gone with his first season in Los Angeles, with his being the first to ever go 50-50 in the history of Major League Baseball, with him making the World Series his first year with his new team, all of these factors in play, with his fucking face, he's 9 at-bats away, Shohei Ohtani, you know what I mean? Like, all over the fucking telecast. If you think that this man is not winning World Series MVP, you're out of your goddamn mind.
Fuck, I love it. You got me fired up.
It's gonna happen, dude.
Yeah, dude. He's fucking MVP. This is my fucking MVP, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm fired up. My God.
Just watch it happen.
Well, shit, dude. That was another episode of Deferred Collusion. Please like us. Please subscribe to us. Share us.
We have
whatever.
a lot of new followers, by the way.
It's been awesome.
We got like 100 new followers, so thank you guys.
Thank you guys. It's been a lot of fun talking shit. Jesse?
If you think we're obnoxious, let us know. It really helps us in the algorithm.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot of fun. Hearing people just tear you down for your take. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Jess, it's a blast, dude. I love you, big guy.
Somebody called you empty brain the other day, by the way.
Well, that's hurtful.
Empty brain over there. Yeah, that's nice. That was sweet of them.
Well, now I'm going to go cry. Thanks about it now.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. No, I think it was actually me, by the way.
Yeah, dude, empty brain, dude. Well, I got a full sack for you, you fucking dweeb, dude. Come fucking get it emptied, you nerd. Just like
Let's go.
them Dodgers, bro. Emptying the opponent's hopes, and dreams with big bat things, dude. Woo! Let's go Dodgers, baby.
Let's go.